In a fantasy world, Ryouta awakens within the depths of Tellula's dungeon, only to be greeted by Emily, a young adventurer who informs him that he is the loot item dropped by the slime she just defeated. Utterly bewildered, Ryouta learns from Emily that in this world, everything is obtained from monster drop items, ranging from powerful magic weapons to everyday groceries, with the value determined by the adventurer's drop rank. She shows him her status screen, indicating that the value of items obtained is determined by the adventurer's drop rank. Upon checking his status, Ryouta discovers that despite being only level 1, his drop skills are all ranked S, surpassing even A-level drops. Excited by the prospect, Ryouta tests his newfound abilities by defeating a slime, which drops an abundance of bean sprouts, confirming the high value of his drop items. As they share lunch, Ryouta reminisces about his life as a salaryman in Japan, the relentless grind of working day and night, overwhelmed with emotion till Emily calms him down. Emily reveals that her low stats mean she earns very little as an adventurer, and currently lives in the dungeon. However, she shares with Ryouta her dream of one day being able to rent an apartment. Driven by gratitude and empathy, Ryouta works tirelessly for 3 days, selling bean sprouts to earn enough money to rent a small apartment. In a gesture of kindness, he invites the homeless Emily to move in and hand over the key to her, promising to repay her kindness. Emily also asked Ryouta to stay with her. Later, Ryouta learns from Urza, the secretary of the Adventurer Guild, about the possibility of obtaining carrots on the dungeon's second level and the discovery of the newly found Nihonium dungeon, which has never dropped any valuable items before. Intrigued, Ryouta ventures into the Nihonium dungeon alone and discovers that it only drops special items for those with rank S drops, despite his level 1 status, a feat that should be impossible. With his newfound skills, Ryouta attempts to gather carrots on Tellula's second floor, but he is ridiculed by other adventurers for being level 1. Among them is a peculiar bunny girl who claims to despise level 1 adventurers. However, later same girl follows Ryouta home, expressing her love for him in a contradictory turn of events. After witnessing Ryouta survive her deadly blow, she tests it on another person and it works. The bunny girl demands answers, but Ryouta, not wanting to disclose Nihonium has given him S-level health. He quickly shifts the conversation, asking the bunny girl why she came. She reveals that she came to gather more carrots, enticed by the ones Ryouta dropped during his previous visit. Emily, ever hospitable, invites her to join them for dinner, crafting delicious dishes featuring carrots. During Ryouta's next excursion to Nihonium dungeon, the bunny girl follows and witnesses him acquiring drop items firsthand. However, Ryouta once again distracts her with promises of more carrots, keeping his secrets safe. When Ryouta delivers the carrots to the guild, the adventurers are astonished that he knows Eve, the infamous killing rabbit, and hasn't been subjected to her wrath. Ryouta learns that her one blow known as Excalibur can cleave a boulder in half. Ryouta explains that the carrots pacify Eve, leading Urza to purchase every carrot for a handsome sum, recognizing that carrots approved by Eve are of the highest quality. In Tellula, Ryouta witnesses an experienced adventurer pushing his trainees to their limits, driving them beyond exhaustion, and then criticizes Ryouta for being too laid back. Eve tells the man off, pointing out his effort is wasted when Ryouta gets better items without trying. Ryouta and Emily aspire to acquire a magic cart to increase their carrying capacity, but a quality cart costs 10 million proves to be a significant hurdle. Later, chaos erupts in the city as a giant gorilla attacks, causing most adventurers to flee, considering it a stray spawn outside of a dungeon that won't drop any items. Despite the danger, Ryouta leaps into action, rescuing Urza from the monster. Assisted by Emily and Eve, Ryouta manages to defeat the gorilla, and to his amazement, the stray actually drops an item, marking a significant turn of events. As Ryouta examines the item dropped by the gorilla, he is surprised to find it's a revolver. After testing out the revolver in the dungeon, Ryouta begins to worry about where he will obtain ammunition once he runs out. Ryouta and Emily begin hunting cockroach slimes, which drop pumpkins. However, Emily's deep-seated hatred for cockroaches causes her to go berserk during the hunt, resulting in them accumulating more pumpkins than they can carry. Their troubles escalate when more cockroach slimes spawn from the discarded pumpkins outside the dungeon. Once again, Emily's berserk state poses a challenge, prompting Ryouta to take charge and eliminate the creatures, some of which surprisingly drop ammunition. Through this ordeal, Ryouta learns that monsters can spawn outside dungeons from drop items left unattended for too long. Despite Urza's attempt to ask him on a date, Ryouta rushes off to continue his experiments. By intentionally forcing a slime to spawn outside and subsequently killing it, he manages to obtain more ammunition. With a steady supply of bullets secured, Ryouta further experiments with the monsters on the first floor of Nihonium, acquiring ice magic bullets in the process. On their journey home, a merchant reveals that his cart containing items from a ghost monster called a Femini has fallen down a cliff. Understanding the urgency of the situation, Ryouta intervenes when the adventurer escorts volunteers to retrieve the cart alone. Ignoring the merchant's protests, Ryouta freezes the cart with his ice bullets, preventing more Femini from spawning. As Emily deals the final blows to the monsters, her own level increases multiple times, marking a significant advancement in her abilities. After Ryouta kills a rare monster that drops a necklace doubling the items dropped by monsters, he gives it to Emily, significantly increasing their wealth. This newfound prosperity prompts Ryouta to consider finding a better house for Emily. Meanwhile, at the guild, while selling bamboo shoots, Ryouta encounters a peculiar lady who buys them all. Urza later reveals that she is Eric Macy, a gourmet connoisseur. Concerned about Ryouta being taken advantage of, Urza helps him acquire trademark rights to the Ryouta bamboo shoot. In Nihonium, Ryouta crosses paths with Crown Princess Margaret and her guards, who are adventuring as her party. They enlighten Ryouta and Emily about monsters that don't drop items, but instead release valuable oxygen when bottled. Realizing their need for a magic cart, Ryouta and Emily head to Orton's shop. Orton's young daughter Olga tells them Orton disappeared in the arsenic dungeon. After locating Orton safely, they assist him in finding a floating monster necessary for crafting a new prototype cart. As a token of gratitude for their help and for saving the city from the gorilla, Orton gifts them the cart for free. Back at the guild, a violent customer causes trouble for Urza, but Ryouta arrives in time to save her. In a moment of impulsiveness, Urza kisses Ryouta, leaving them both embarrassed. With the cart, Ryouta and Emily quickly earn enough money for a new house within 3 days, though they decide to keep the old house for sentimental reasons. Eve wastes no time in visiting their new home, eager to get her share of carrots. At the guild, Ryouta is unexpectedly challenged to an arm wrestle by Neptune, a charismatic hunter with multiple girlfriends. Despite his S-level strength, Ryouta barely manages to win the match. Neptune persists in trying to recruit Ryouta for his team, but Ryouta remains uninterested and declines the offer. The next day in the dungeon, Princess Margaret's team presents Ryouta with a Pandora box, a device that automatically collects dropped items. Ryouta utilizes this tool to efficiently gather bullets in larger quantities and discovers fire bullets along with a mysterious type of bullet. As a magical storm is forecasted, nullifying all magic and preventing monsters from dropping items, most hunters decide to take the day off. When Reyes asks for help as his partner Rosa becomes trapped in the silicon dungeon, no one volunteers, including Neptune, as silicon monsters are notoriously difficult to defeat without magic. Despite the risks, Ryouta steps up, as his bullets still function. He manages to locate Rosa but soon runs out of bullets. Emily decides to find Ryouta because she sees similarities between him and her late mother, who displayed courage and selflessness by sacrificing her life to protect her friends from a dragon. She and Eve replicate Ryouta's Pandora box shortcut, successfully bringing him more bullets. Together, they rescue Rosa from the dungeon. Although Reyes is unable to heal her due to the magical storm, Ryouta reveals that his mystery bullets possess healing properties. He heals Rosa by shooting her, much to everyone's relief. Reflecting on the events, Emily expresses her gratitude for meeting someone like Ryouta, who embodies the same courage and kindness as her late mother. Ryouta's exploration of deeper dungeon floors leads him to acquire watermelon drops, which Eric once again purchases in bulk. Determined to capitalize on this opportunity, Urza secures the trademark to sell Ryouta's watermelons. However, Ryouta learns that he requires a license to explore floors below the 5th level. Accompanied by Emily, he sets out to obtain the necessary license. During the licensing exam, Ryouta is tasked with defeating a 6th-floor steel slime, which he dispatches with ease, earning his license. With his new license in hand, Ryouta continues his exploration, deliberately spawning a gorilla to spawn, and then killing it so he now has 2 revolvers for different bullets. Later Ryouta learns that the Adalbert group, which corruptly controls Silicon's 6th floor where rice is gathered, refuses to sell any more rice until Urza raises the price. Ryouta discovers that Neptune has been hired to assassinate them. However, Ryouta defeats them with his new sleep bullets. Clint Gray, the dungeon chief of Sekro, requests Ryouta's help in resolving the conflict. Sekro aims to claim the Sealin dungeon, which drops both meat and vegetables, to reduce their reliance on hetero for meat. Ryouta agrees to assist, bringing Emily along for the journey. As they camp overnight, Ryouta discovers that even household trash spawns monsters if not properly disposed of, but by killing the resulting Frankenstein monster he discovers homing bullets that chase targets if the first shot misses. They arrive at the Sealin dungeon, only to find that the excessive amount of trash generated by hunters poses a significant threat. Ryouta notices a fire mage responsible for burning the trash but realizes that she is severely overworked and on the brink of collapse. The mage, Celeste, insists on continuing working so Ryouta puts her to sleep. As Celeste rests, Ryouta and Emily take advantage of the opportunity to allow the trash to spawn monsters, enabling Ryouta to gather more homing bullets. When Celeste awakens, she explains that drops from the Sealin dungeon are temporarily tax-exempt until its ownership is determined, leading to a surge in adventurers taking advantage of the situation and generating extra trash. Ryouta learns from Duke, the representative of Sekro, that adventurers will capture vegetable monsters for him to kill in order to increase the S-level vegetable drops. Meanwhile, Harvard, the representative of Hetero, attempts to sabotage Ryouta's efforts by hiring F-rank adventurer Eugene to eliminate as many vegetable monsters as possible, hoping to prevent Ryouta from securing the Sealin dungeon. However, Ryouta successfully deals with the threat using his new homing bullets. To express his gratitude for her support, Ryouta buys Emily an expensive jeweled ring she admired earlier, which enhances the value of all her dropped items by 1 level. Trouble arises when Harvard manipulates a powerful meat-dropping monster to attack Ryouta and Emily. If Ryouta were to kill it, the monster would drop S-level meat, undermining Sekro's claim to the Sealin dungeon. Fortunately, Emily steps in and defeats the monster, causing it to drop nothing due to her F-rank drops. Harvard responds by hiring triple the number of hetero adventurers, forcing Ryouta to focus solely on hunting the rarest monsters with the best drops. Amid the conflict, Harvard fires Eugene and his adventurers who try to ambush Ryouta for costing them their jobs, but they are defeated. Ryouta heals them and Eugene comes to realize that he misjudged Ryouta, leading to a newfound respect between them. As Celeste overworks herself and faints once again, Ryouta rushes to her aid, prompting her to realize her feelings for him. She confesses that she faints because she can only cast 1 spell, Inferno, which drains her magic after just a few uses. Additionally, there's an excess of trash in the area due to the appearance of Sealin's dungeon master, causing adventurers to work overtime. Neptune has been hired to kill the dungeon master, but Hetero is reluctant to send a team to assist him, hoping that keeping the dungeon master alive will undo Ryouta's efforts. In response, Ryouta volunteers to take on the task independently, accompanied by Emily and Celeste. The dungeon master, a powerful bicorn, proves formidable with its ability to create a magic barrier that renders it immune to damage. In the midst of the intense battle with bicorn, the creature's sinister power begins to weaken Ryouta and others. However, Celeste comes to the realization that she loves Ryouta and uses all her magic to burn away the barrier, allowing Ryouta to defeat the bicorn. In gratitude for her assistance, Ryouta gives Celeste the drop item, Bihorns, which grants her the ability to cast a less powerful fire spell at no cost, ensuring she never faints again due to magic depletion. As a result of their victory, Sekro Village is awarded ownership of Sealin. Neptune takes action against Harvard for his underhanded tactics, which ultimately cost him the opportunity to team up with Ryouta. Thrilled by the invitation, Celeste eagerly agrees to accompany Ryouta and Emily to Sekro village. Ryouta returns to the city and encounters Urza, who is surprised to see Celeste with him. Ryouta reveals his intention to form a party with Celeste, much to Urza's interest. Before parting ways, Urza informs Ryouta about the upcoming Harvest Festival. After gathering more information, they learn it's an event where dungeon items are advertised to the public and used to spawn monsters for gladiatorial fights. Ryouta and his companions discover that a monster accidentally spawns in Sekro during the event, though they manage to defeat it. Ryouta also gets a drop item, but Emily's warhammer is destroyed. Eve hears of Ryouta's return and runs to find him for more carrots. Smith, a weapon merchant, leaps at the chance to craft Emily a new warhammer, since Emily using one of his weapons will be good advertising. Ryouta encounters Princess Margaret again and learns customers are bored of her air boxes, so he suggests she switch to selling rings, saving her from another monster attack in the process. Margaret is intrigued by his idea and promises to give him her first ring as a token of gratitude. Ezra requests Ryouta's assistance in collecting rare items for the festival. Ryouta uses his money to spawn a monster and defeats it. Ryouta obtains a potion that increases drop item values. However, as a rank S adventurer, the potion is of no use to him. Eve finally catches him and gets her carrots. Flashbacks show as a child Eve hated vegetables. One day after killing a monster, a small boy appeared as the dropped item, like Ryouta, and after killing the monster himself he gave Eve her first S-rank carrot, addicting her for life, and then the boy simply vanished. As her own drop rank is D, she could never gather carrots herself, so Ryouta gives her the potion, allowing her to get a rank carrots herself. Grateful for the potion, and as only Ryouta can get the potion as a drop item, Eve asks to join his party, despite her fierce reputation as a solo hunter. Ryouta accepts her request and officially introduces her as a new member to Emily and Celeste. Another magic storm appears and they learn the storms give Celeste migraines due to her sensitivity to such phenomena. Recognizing the need for a larger and more suitable residence, Ryouta deliberately purchases a house that provides protection from the storms, effectively curing Celeste's migraines. Determined to assist Urza in finding rare items for the Harvest Festival, Ryouta ventures deeper into Tuliula's dungeon. There, they encounter the experienced adventurer who continues to exploit his trainees. Meanwhile, a timid girl named Alice begins frequenting the guild in search of a party to join. Ryouta starts increasing his mana levels, allowing him to use magic. By spawning a metal slime that mimics his fighting style, and then killing it, Ryouta learns the spells Windblade and Reservation, a useful spell that transfers his S-rank drop rates to another person for the duration of a single monster kill. Later, Alice almost joins the experienced manipulator but is rescued by Ryouta, who takes her into his party instead. Alice, despite her low levels, possesses a unique ability due to being born in a dungeon. She has an innate sense of the location of monsters and can even tame some creatures into smaller, more powerful versions that serve as her familiars. Among her companions are a female skeleton named Bonesy and a male slime named Jiggly, both of whom endear themselves to Celeste for their perceived cuteness. With their party now expanded and strengthened, Ryouta and his companions continue their quest to uncover rare items and face the challenges of their world. As the Harvest Festival commences, Ryouta attends with Emily and Alice. They encounter a merchant selling drop items from the Alkyl dungeon, known for spawning monsters worth substantial experience points. Ryouta purchases one of these items, which not only helps Emily level up but also yields a strengthening bullet, enhancing the power of subsequent bullets when fired. Eager to capitalize on this opportunity, Ryouta buys every Alkyl item available to acquire more bullets. During the festival, a monster escapes the arena, prompting Ryouta to swiftly dispatch it with assistance from Neptune, who once again expresses his disappointment that Ryouta won't join his team. Celeste and Eve return from Sealin in time to join the festivities, adding to the camaraderie. Ryouta decides to fight monsters in the arena with Celeste, who is disappointed he only chose her for her knowledge of monsters, so she deliberately fights harder to prove she is as useful as Emily. For their reward, they receive children's fireworks. Everyone enjoys fireworks, but Alice suddenly enters a trance-like state and feels an overwhelming instinct to visit the Nihonium dungeon. This coincides with a revelation from Clint, who informs Ryouta that all 6 of Sekiro's dungeons have ceased dropping items simultaneously, posing a significant threat to the economy and food supply. Suspecting a connection, Ryota's party ventures into Telyalu, and despite the absence of dropped items for others, Ryouta still manages to obtain them. This anomaly prompts Ryouta to investigate Nihonium, where he discovers the culprit, the Dungeon Master, a female ghost immune to physical attacks, rendering Ryota's bullets ineffective against her. During his intense battle with the ghost, Ryouta deduces that she must temporarily solidify to strike him. Utilizing homing bullets that target her solid limbs, he manages to defeat her, albeit at the cost of his own exhaustion. Emily locates and heals him with a healing bullet, revealing the dungeons are dropping items again. To his surprise, Ryouta discovers that the defeated Dungeon Master has left behind a magic ring capable of converting experience points into crystals that can be distributed among others. Later, during his visits to Nihonium, he meets Princess Margaret and helps her level up by imparting his experience crystals to her. He extends the same assistance to Emily, Alice, and Celeste, enabling them to reach their maximum potential. Both Emily and Celeste also obtain their licenses to explore deeper dungeon floors. Embracing Ryota's strategy, the party splits up to cover multiple dungeons simultaneously, resulting in a remarkable daily income of 2 million pilo. With their newfound wealth, they each acquire a magic card equipped with a teleportation feature, significantly enhancing their exploration capabilities. Their remarkable success prompts the Adventurer Guild to assign Urza to directly oversee Ryota's operations, managing their inventory and facilitating payments. In the end, to celebrate their achievements, Emily hosts a grand party, inviting all the friends they've made along their journey. However, the festivities quickly deplete their food supplies, forcing Ryouta to visit a dungeon to get more with everyone else tagging along.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this. If you have any suggestions or questions, feel free to leave a comment below. Until next time, take care.